let's talk about Shenzhen. So Shenzhen used to be the best place to learn Chinese. Now everybody speaks English. I'm going to talk about the city for the makers. It's not there yet, but we're reaching it. I'm still an immigrant to Shenzhen. I'm not born in Shenzhen, and when everything starts, I'm still back home and still a baby. But I want to share with you a very well-spoken story about Shenzhen, and I can name it with from 0 to about 2,000 billion in RMB. So this is the picture of Shenzhen in 1980s. It's a fish village, as you know, and the industrial GDP is about 0. Then, Deng Xiaoping says we need to have some economic revolutions, and it opens the very city as a trial to have the experiments on marketing economies. So in a very, very short time, the whole city is built from scratch. I think they are the very beginning maker of this city, and a lot of people come all over this country to Shenzhen to chase for a new opportunity and to challenge the uncharted. I don't know much about that. It was still, to me, to a lot of Chinese, it's still about a place that you can peek into the capitalism of Hong Kong and go by things which is very much from the Western world. But meanwhile, over the last 30 years, you see a lot of things happening, a lot of things are manufactured from Hong Kong back to Shenzhen, and then shipped from all over the world, shipped to all over the world. And you now go to the ACG market, to a maker, it's like the heaven. It's a super grand supermarket. And the GDP reaches about 2,000 billions. And we call it the time is money, the efficiency is life. But still, nobody knows much about Shenzhen to the international world. Everybody speaks China, everybody speaks about Beijing, Shanghai. Someone might know about Guangzhou, but if we talk about Shenzhen even 5 years ago, I need to describe it to the north of Hong Kong. It's a very much a humble technology city, but it has concentrated the most economic power of China. So that's the story. And the second story is about immigrants. I am an immigrant. I come to Shenzhen in 2008. Just before the Olympics, I escaped from Beijing because I want to do something around hardware. But I'm not a real maker. I was a real maker for makers by that time, until I welcomed Google guests. We have Tom here. It was 2009. It was half a year after I created Seeedstudio, and so the first time I read from Facebook, and it was still not bad by that time. I read from Facebook that these guys, these famous maker heroes, are coming to Shenzhen. I said, oh wait, I should contact with you guys. I should host you guys because I'm very much moved by the maker culture and I'm serving the maker culture. So I make contact with them, and they are the first group of makers come to Shenzhen. They're not come here to just explore things, but they come here to see how things are running on the back end of manufacturing, how the factories are operating, and what's it like in Shenzhen. Because to a lot of people, stereotype Shenzhen is like for factories. It's mistreated to the employees somehow, so they come to see it. But they also bring a lot of inspirations, a lot of the culture to the city. From them, we understand what it's like to open up and to share and to collaborate globally. So we have been too lonely in the beginning, and we very much like the maker spaces in New York, in San Francisco, so we just built the first big space called Chaipo. But more importantly, we found that there are already makers around this city, but they don't know themselves are makers. So we have the place, a physical place that people can gather and show off what they have made. And they can unite with each other to work on some interesting projects. So they started with projects that don't make money. They just feel fun. I can do it. I want to do it. They did that. You see their faces, you see their smiles, maybe it's distorted, but they are very happy in creating that. And then they start to make some projects that still make money, but they are still very, very happy. They might have been working in a big organization for many, many years. Now they take the privilege to create something under their own mind. It might be risky, but they are trying. I did a little survey because before the Maker Week, I asked the makers in the Taiwan Makerspace, what's your past? So there was one thing that I was a technician working in a factory, like to do some milling, do some cutting. And there is a silicon company manager who used to be taking support on some high-tech chipsets. And there was a student. He is just good study, did it up, and also he's a bare hand, Shanghai. And we also got people from investment bank, who was get bored, suffer, and he want to try something physical and creative. And we have toy developers, we have manufacturing engineers, we have telecom business manager, and we also have IT development manager from HSBC. So it's totally different backgrounds. It has started from the city, but they're deriving, they're changing, shifting to a new life. We ask them, what do you hope for maker, for the city, for the future? They want more maker heroes come to Shenzhen to exchange ideas, to share the inspirations, and to talk with potential makers and makers in the city. And they want to be making with big corporations, because the big corporations can provide a lot of resources, and the makers can somehow very much complementing the ecosystem to bring more open innovations. And they want to see more makers start making things since they are a child. And they want to have some more hands-on for everyone. And they want more systematic services for a maker to bring their ideas all the way into some finished goods. And we have a visitor, which happens to the Premier Minister, come to Shenzhen, come to a makerspace, and became a member. And also we have in Nasdaq, thanks to Seeedstudio, we have the Maker with Shenzhen slogan shouting out that Shenzhen is New York and we want you to make with us. So this creates a new area we call mass innovation. What we can foresee is there will be a lot of bubbles. There will be a lot of empty maker spaces and incubators. We are totally in shortage of makers. So how are we going to make something valuable after the huge bubble? That's what I'm thinking is be condensed and remained as a major city. So if we look at the map of Shenzhen, there are so many regions. It might be different from Western city. Chinese like to do things in a cluster way. So if there is some successful jewelry streets, there will be more jewelry factories clustered together. So if we have some mass innovation or mass maker space set up in the jewelry region, we let the factories come to talk, to share about their process, their designs to the public. And on the other end, we can invite makers, we can give them index. You can find all kinds of maker spaces in Shenzhen that links to the supply chain of sort of industry. For example, the wearable guys who want to make a smart gadget, but we want to use jewelry as an enclosure. You can come to the mass maker space and talk with the factories and also to collaborate with them to make something which is very proven, instead of thinking of something new and come here to, explore and fail. So I think Maker City should link its industry with all the makers coming to the city. It's not create something totally new. It has to be hybrid. But it has to make a city by everyone. We have so many, we say, maker masters, professionals coming to Shenzhen, but we need to start from everyone. This is a maker from last Maker Fair. I believe a lot of you guys have seen these kind of craftsmen. They just sit on the street making some straws, some works to sell to people. And this guy does not know what is a maker fair, but he sees so many people there. He wants to make something and sell to them. So he just took another corner, sit down, and to make the straws. We invited him, give him a booth. You are a maker, and it is your stage to show to people. I think if we're talking about maker city, there should be a city from everyone. And of course, when you think, what would be the future city like? The future city should be futuristic. If we imagine Shenzhen, we have some city, I just grab some pictures from internet. It might be something like this, very gorgeous. If you look at picture, you want to come here to check out. You will believe it's a very high-tech city full of potentialities. But I want to say that it should still be a city, a maker city for lives. For people, we come to Shenzhen, we like the blue sky and blue seas, we like enjoying living here. We have convenient resources of everything, and we can still talk about technology very short. Thank you.
Yeah!